and annyeonghaseyo to the third episode of an exciting series in partnership with the Korean Cultural Centre in London. My name is Gigi Young and I hope you enjoyed the previous video where I received lots of support and lovely feedback. As the name of the channel, I want to showcase to you the creativity of South Korean culture and South Korean subcultures. I've compiled a list of things to do, watch, learn, practice and develop your knowledge of South Korean creative culture. The focus of today's video: South Korean designers. I've categorized each designer and design studio into the following categories: graphic design, or more specifically illustration, furniture design, fashion design, ceramics design, and architectural design. I hope you enjoy the video and find the information useful. First on the list we have Sehee Chae, graphic designer and illustrator, also known as Pai. Working from Ansan, her portfolio ranges from book covers, reinterpretations of Alice in Wonderland, vinyl record sleeves, to K-pop commissions for soloist Kim Sejong and the girl group Oh My Girl. I also found out about the designer via her collaborations with musicians, which she describes as an area that cannot be separated from painting. She also states that she listens to music whilst working on her paintings. Whilst South Korea is still far away from becoming a completely LP country, they have started to gain more interest amongst the Korean community as of late. Chae also brought up how she's envious of album art that is popular / more available in the UK. In addition, Chae wishes to venture into illustrating children's books as well as moving on to larger surfaces such as wall paintings and outdoor advertisements. For me, her images are interesting as they initially appear flat but cleverly utilise light patches and shadows to create three-dimensionality. They also appear fantastical and sometimes ethereal, with the figures in thought in their unique worlds. This makes sense as she was inspired by characters stepping into another world populated by introspective adolescents, landscapes and Korean folklore. Her works outside of the K-pop commissions feature a slightly sinister element that reference to societal issues that juxtapose the seemingly happy colour palette. Thus, I would definitely recommend checking out her varied portfolio that trademark her signature style in a variety of images. Other notable designers and design studios to check out are Everyday Practice, a design studio founded by 3 designers who all met at the Royal College of Art in London. Next on the list we have furniture designer and carpenter Bahk Jong Sun. A former musician, Bahk now makes his furniture in an old farm building that has been converted into a modern carpentry studio. Favouring wood as his material of choice and minimalism and moderation in his style, Bahk creates furniture inspired by traditional Korean hanok houses and traditional furniture of the 17th and 18th centuries, combined with the efficiency, practicality and clean lines of Scandinavian design. Bahk avoids decoration except for red or black lacquer to better focus on the craftsmanship of the natural material. This leads to our next point in how you may recognise the designer for his work with a certain award-winning film: Parasite. Having been introduced by designer Lee Ha-jun, the rich family's home was carefully designed to reflect the family's wealth. Bahk handcrafted the furniture in the Park's home, such as the multi-level living room table under which members of the poor family hide at one point in the film. His use of proportions and cut surfaces, all square and level, which look cold and sharp, further emphasised the director's use of verticality to show the class divide between the Parks and the Kims. If you haven't seen the film, I definitely recommend that you watch it, and for those who have seen it, I recommend that you watch it again and pick up on those design elements that make the film an award-winning production. Other furniture designers to check out are Choi+Shine, often considered the father of contemporary Korean design, and Cho, whose pieces are modern yet familiar, creating for a unique interpretation of furniture. Next, we'll be looking at Korean fashion design. We have Young and Tang. Started in 2017 by couple Young Shin and Sang Lim, the label can be categorized as a sustainable menswear brand. The duo met in middle school and have been together for the last 14 years. Together they have worked to make great strides in gaining recognition for their innovative style. Their effort towards their fashion was first recognized in 2015 when they were selected as the winners for the Council of Fashion of Designers, or CFDA, competition. By focusing on experimental fabrication and second-hand clothes, they also have control over the supply chain and protecting it in the future. Their Autumn-Winter 2020 collection combines the traditions of Korea but in a contemporary manner. Wanting to ensure that they've maintained respect through a contemporary style, they actually chose their grandfather to be the model of their new collection. The accessories are also worth looking at, having been found objects such as small toys and fishing hooks that were refashioned as fashion items. For me, they are not only a socially aware brand, but one that successfully demonstrates an element of humour and playfulness that I could see young people wearing in not only Seoul, but other trendy cities around the world. Other labels to note are Sehee Chae, who delivers unisex workwear and technical styling elements through one-off releases, God Somewhere, who trended online for their futuristic butterfly sunglasses, and Moon, who also fuses traditional Korean clothing styles with athleisure and outdoor wear. Fourth on our list, we have ceramics designer Hon Tong. Lee is famous for working with ceramics and concrete in a wide range from small objects to large installation. He is focused on reviving ancient Korean ceramic techniques and blending traditions with his contemporary forms via a blue-green celadon glaze developed in the 15th century Joseon dynasty. Likening his ceramics to three-dimensional landscape paintings, the artist forms the clay into chairs, tables, which he fires in a handmade kiln. Understanding that the Korean ceramic scene remains at the heart of the national culture, the country boasts an impressive ceramic theme parks. The painterly porcelain vases of the Joseon dynasty are also considered among the greatest achievements of world art, and thus it makes sense that Korea is also home to one of the world's most important international gatherings of ceramic art, the Gyeonggi International Ceramic Biennale near Seoul. Excitingly enough, his work was alongside designer Ri Soo-jung, shown in London as part of a large-scale exhibition of their work in early 2020. Lee's conceptual approach to practice refuses to acknowledge any meaningful space between abstract and figurative art, with a sense of humour in the work. For me, his work show an interesting juxtaposition of industrial and organic, futuristic and traditional, and it is this confusion or perplexing perspective that makes them all the more interesting. Do check out Ri Soo-jung, who he collaborated with in his showing at the Messens London Museum, as Ri is celebrated and recognised as one of Korea's principal ceramic artist-designers. Our final designer on the list is the architectural design studio Choi+Shine Architects. You might be wondering, what is the difference between an architect and an architectural designer? An architectural designer is an individual who creates plans for buildings, houses, and other places. They differ from an architect who is responsible for bringing out the concepts, whilst the designer is the one who actually designs the drawings and models based on those concepts. Choi+Shine Architects are an internationally awarded architecture and design studio run by two principals, Jin Choi and Thomas Shine. Their best-known project, The Land of the Giants, a human-shaped transmission tower constructed in Iceland and proposed for the 2018 Pyeongchang Olympics. They transform an otherwise normal electrical pylon to now have an Angel of the North quality to them. They instantly became an iconic feature of the Icelandic landscape with a functional purpose. Choi+Shine works range in scale from small lighting fixtures to large infrastructures. Most recently, their works have featured in the UK as selected to be featured in London Paddington Station, and their recognisable structural urchin series in Liverpool, having previously been presented in Singapore and Australia. To me, I find the works very exciting and very modern looking, with their structural integrity actually being very visible to the eye and actually make up the design element of the structure. And that's all for the designers of this video. I hope you have enjoyed a few features of different designers from various fields, and this time with my added opinion. Whenever I feature a creative, I always try to showcase an individual or group who may be lesser known unless otherwise stated. Again, this is not a full list of all the designers and design studios in South Korea, but only my personal compilation, so do let me know in the comments or via social media if there is anyone or any sector that I should look into or revisit. Thank you! 감사합니다!